His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa received a cable of congratulations from the personal representative of His Majesty the King, His Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Hamad Al Khalifa, on McLaren's victory in the Formula One Constructors' Championship for the second consecutive year, marking the team's 10th overall title. His Highness expressed pride in McLaren's victory, which reflects the continuous development of motorsports in Bahrain under the patronage of His Majesty. His Highness also affirmed that this victory adds to the list of national achievements that have raised Bahrain's status in international sporting events in line with His Majesty's vision and the follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa and His Royal Highness's commitment to promoting development and the optimal utilization of pioneering plans, programs and promising opportunities. His Highness prays to Allah the Almighty to bless His Majesty with abundant health and happiness. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa chaired the weekly cabinet meeting at Qadaybiyah Palace on the occasion of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa's royal order convening the Shura Council and the Council of Representatives. The cabinet confirmed its anticipation of His Majesty's forthcoming address, which will mark the opening of the fourth session of the sixth legislative term. The cabinet underscored the importance of His Majesty's address as the guiding framework for defining national priorities and advancing the kingdom's comprehensive development. The cabinet directed the relevant ministerial committees and the government entities to enhance coordination with the legislative authority to ensure the continued advancement of national interests. The cabinet congratulated His Majesty on McLaren's victory in the Formula One Constructors' Championship for the second consecutive year, marking the team's 10th overall title. The cabinet emphasized that this achievement builds on the kingdom's record of international successes and enhances its standing on the global sporting stage. The cabinet followed up on the special procedures on the implementation of His Royal Highness's directives to offer 3 job opportunities to every registered Bahraini employment applicant before the end of the year. This aligns with the realization of His Majesty's far-reaching visions to create opportunities for Bahrainis across various sectors. The cabinet commended the relentless efforts of the national workforce in advancing the kingdom's progress, highlighting the excellence, creativity and dedication of Bahrainis across various sectors. The cabinet extended its gratitude to the Ministry of Labour for its efforts and swift implementation of these directives to provide 3 job opportunities to every registered Bahraini job seeker by 2026. The cabinet also thanked the Bahrain Chamber of Commerce and Industry for its role in facilitating these opportunities. The cabinet reinforced the importance of the recent official visit of His Royal Highness to the Vatican City-State. During the visit, His Royal Highness met with His Holiness Pope Leo XIV, noting the importance of the visit in strengthening the long-standing ties between Bahrain and the Vatican. The cabinet also noted His Royal Highness's visit to Italy, where he met with the President of the Council of Ministers of Italy, Giorgia Meloni, and several other senior officials. The cabinet highlighted the significance of the visit's outcome in developing Bahrain-Italy relations and partnerships, thus contributing to achieving common aspirations and goals. This follows the cabinet's review of a report submitted by the Minister of the Prime Minister's Court in this regard. The cabinet underscored the importance of relevant authorities intensifying efforts to combat human trafficking in line with the kingdom's commitment to protecting labour rights and supporting business owners through the ongoing development of labour market systems and procedures. This directive follows the kingdom's recent achievement of maintaining Tier 1 status in the U.S. Department of State Trafficking in Persons report for the 8th consecutive year. The cabinet thanked the Minister of Interior and other relevant authorities for their efforts in this regard. This milestone reflects the far-reaching vision of His Majesty and the directive of His Royal Highness to strengthen the values of justice, the protection of rights and the creation of a safe and equitable work environment for all as part of the kingdom's comprehensive development. The cabinet welcomed Bahrain's attainment of first place in the 2025 Microsoft Showcase Schools program, a global competition among schools, and congratulated the Ministry of Education on this achievement. The cabinet affirmed that this international recognition reflects Bahrain's commitment to advancing educational programs that enhance innovation, creativity and excellence. The cabinet welcomed the peace plan presented by U.S. President Donald Trump, which calls for a ceasefire in Gaza, the release of hostages and detainees, and the facilitation of humanitarian aid. The cabinet considered the initiative a positive step towards achieving security and peace in the Middle East. The cabinet urged the international community to intensify efforts and for all parties to uphold their commitments in support of peace initiatives that seek to end the conflict and ease the suffering of the people of Gaza. The cabinet then reviewed and approved the following memorandums. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Financial and Economic Affairs and Fiscal Balance regarding the quarterly economic report for the second quarter of 2025. The report revealed a 2.5% annual growth in GDP at constant prices, supported by 3.5% growth in non-oil activities. 2. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Financial and Economic Affairs and Fiscal Balance regarding cooperation between several government entities and the private sector on projects in education and health sectors. 3. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Financial and Economic Affairs and Fiscal Balance regarding Bahrain's contributions to international organizations. 4. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs regarding the statement of intent on the establishment of the Asset Recovery Interagency Network in the East and North African region and its accompanying charter. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs regarding an MOU between the Telecommunications Regulatory Authority and the Office of the National Broadcasting and Telecommunications Commission of Thailand on cooperation in telecommunications regulation. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Community Services outlining labour market indicators up to the third quarter of 2025, highlighting the progress of the 2 annual targets for employment and training. By the end of the third quarter of 2025, 78% of the annual target of employing 25,000 Bahrainis annually and 82% of the annual target of having 8,000 Bahrainis enter the labour market had been achieved. Regarding training, 108% of the annual target to train 15,000 Bahrainis annually had been achieved. These results reflect the agreements reached with the Legislative Authority during the discussion of Bahrain's general budget for the 2025-26 fiscal year and part of the ongoing implementation of the National Labour Market Plan 2023-26. A memorandum submitted by the Ministerial Committee for Legal and Legislative Affairs regarding the government's response to several draft laws submitted by the Council of Representatives. The Cabinet then reviewed the following ministerial reports: the outcomes of the Minister of Interior's visit to the US and the UK, the outcomes of Bahrain's participation in the 124th meeting of the GCC Financial and Economic Cooperation Committee, the outcomes of Bahrain's participation in the 6th Global Mental Health Ministerial Summit, the outcomes of Bahrain's participation in the 11th meeting of GCC Health Ministers and the 88th meeting of the GCC Health Ministers Council, the outcomes of Bahrain's participation in the 15th International Space Navigation Meeting of Ministers and Members of Parliament and the 76th International Astronautical Congress. His Royal Highness Crown Prince, Deputy Supreme Commander and the Armed Forces and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with the outgoing Commander of the U.S. Naval Forces Central Command, Commander of the U.S. Fifth Fleet and Commander of the Combined Maritime Forces, Vice Admiral George Wyckoff at Qudaibiya Palace. His Royal Highness highlighted the long-standing partnership between Bahrain and the U.S., one strengthened by multi-sectoral collaboration, particularly in the military and defense sectors. His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad underscored the importance of enhancing these ties and advancing further cooperation aligned with the critical agreements like the Comprehensive Security, Integration and Prosperity Agreement, the CSIPA. His Royal Highness expressed his gratitude to Vice Admiral Wyckoff for deepening bilateral ties during his tenure and wished him success in his future endeavours. The two sides reviewed recent regional and international developments and exchanged views on issues of shared concern. His Royal Highness reaffirmed the role of the U.S. alongside allied countries in promoting regional and global security, stability and development. The Minister of the Prime Minister's Court is Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, Minister of Finance and National Economy Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, along with several senior officials, also attended the meeting. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, Deputy Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces and Prime Minister Bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with the UK's Defence Senior Advisor to the Middle East and North Africa, Vice Admiral Edward Algren, and an accompanying delegation at Qudaibiya Palace. His Royal Highness affirmed Bahrain's historic relationship with the UK, one founded on a multi-sector strategic partnership that continues to grow, particularly in the military and defence fields, and emphasised the shared commitment of both kingdoms to continue enhancing bilateral cooperation to achieve common goals. His Royal Highness highlighted the successful bilateral ties between Bahrain and the UK, underpinned by joint agreements such as the Comprehensive Security Integration and Prosperity Agreement, the CSIPA, which the UK recently joined, stressing that agreements like these strengthen coordination, advance development and create quality opportunities that benefit the people of both kingdoms. His Royal Highness also commended the UK's vital role alongside its allies in reinforcing the foundations of regional and global security and stability. During the meeting, both parties discussed issues of common interest, ways to bolster the bilateral partnership further, and the latest regional and global developments. The Minister of the Prime Minister's Court, His Highness Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, also attended the meeting. Her Royal Highness, the wife of His Majesty the King and President of the Supreme Council for Women, Princess Sabika bint Ibrahim Al Khalifa, congratulated Mona Al Hashimi on her appointment as chairperson of the Board of Directors of Benefit, the first woman to assume this position in this company's history. Her Royal Highness expressed pride in this achievement, which reflected the advanced position that Bahraini women have reached in leadership and decision-making positions. Her Royal Highness affirmed that the advancement of Bahraini women to senior leadership positions in leading economic institutions is a reflection of their efforts and competence and a consolidation of their presence in the economic development process. Her Royal Highness wished Al Hashimi continued success in her duties to enhance the kingdom's leadership in the fields of digital transformation and financial innovation. The Representatives Council Speaker Ahmed Limsalem and the Vice President of the Supreme Council for Women, the SCW, Dr. Sheikha Maryam bint Hassan Al Khalifa, signed a cooperation agreement between the two councils for the development and advancement of women's affairs in constitutional and civil society institutions. Limsalem affirmed that the achievements of Bahraini women were made possible thanks to the guidance and support of His Majesty the King and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. He praised the efforts and contributions of the SCW, chaired by Her Royal Highness, wife of His Majesty the King, in supporting the advancement of Bahraini women. He pointed out that the Council attaches particular importance to programs and projects to achieve equal opportunities and gender balance. He stressed the importance of continuing the fruitful cooperation between the two councils to accelerate the pace of achievement and institutional integration and develop the legislative system that supports the advancement of Bahraini women. For her part, Dr. Sheikha Maryam affirmed the Bahraini society's awareness of the role and status of women as a partner in national development. She noted that the signing of the cooperation agreement is a qualitative milestone in enhancing institutional integration. She affirmed the importance of cooperation with the Council of Representatives in supporting legal and political awareness programs for Bahraini women. The Minister of Shura and Representatives Council's Affairs, Ghanem Al-Bu'ainin, participated in the 25th meeting of the Ministerial Committee tasked with following up on the implementations of resolutions related to Gulf joint action held in Kuwait. The Minister noted Bahrain's keenness to implement the decisions of the Supreme Council to achieve the vision of the Council's leaders, which seeks to strengthen cooperation among GCC countries. The committees discussed a number of topics related to following up on the implementation of joint Gulf action decisions included on the agenda. They reviewed the implementation of decisions made at the committee's 25th meeting, which was held last November. The Minister of Education and Chairman of the Board of Trustees of Bahrain Polytechnic, Dr. Mohammed bin Mbarak Jum'a, inaugurated the new branch of the institution in Delmonia Island in Muharraq. The Minister noted that the inauguration comes in implementation of the directives of His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, to expand the establishment of educational institutions and provide quality educational options for students, praising the partnership with Nasij in establishing this project. The new branch of Bahrain Polytechnic enhances the institution's ability to attract larger numbers of students while offering specialized academic programs that meet the needs of vital sectors in the evolving job market through an integrated learning environment that combines state-of-the-art technical facilities and academic expertise.
So I think today is another great day in the milestone and the history of the Polytechnic. We now have a campus here in Muharraq to cater for those who live in this locality. We have 500 students now here currently doing the foundation programme. Next year they will move on to Isa Town where they will continue on with their degree, but the next 500 or 600 or 700 then will start here. But we're also having our master's programmes here at the weekend, and in the new year we'll be running some of our part-time provision here as well, so that we will be opening more opportunities for people who are living in this locality to be able to study in their local region rather than necessarily having to travel to Isa Town or to the main Polytechnic campus during the week. So I think it's a real win-win for Polytechnic, but it's a real win-win for the people in Muharraq and this southern government, so that they can have a campus on their doorstep that they can use to upskill, reskill, or indeed start a degree, whether they're women who are working or staying at home, or indeed people who just want to be upskilled and want to bring their self to the next level in their education performance. That's really important for us, and that's what the whole Polytechnic ethos is around Polytech for all, so that we can have and give opportunities for those who may never have them opportunities previously.
The third round of political consultations between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Bahrain and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Italy was held. The two sides praised the close and strategic relations between Bahrain and Italy and the development and prosperity witnessed in various fields, including politics, economy, culture and energy. The meeting discussed ways to develop joint cooperation through the signing of bilateral agreements and MOUs in various fields, with the aim of advancing relations between the two countries in a manner that serves their interests. They reviewed the latest regional and international developments and exchanged views on issues of mutual interest. As part of efforts of the Ministry of Transportation and Telecommunications to enhance the quality of institutional services, the Directorate of Ship Registry and Seamen Affairs announced that it has obtained the international ISO certification for its quality management system. More in this report.
As part of its commitment to providing high-quality services, the Directorate of Ship Registry and Seaman Affairs at the Ministry of Transportation and Telecommunications has obtained the international ISO certification for its high-quality management system, in a move that underscores the Ministry's commitment to providing the most efficient and reliable services to all beneficiaries. This achievement represents a step towards enhancing institutional performance and developing the work environment in line with international best practices in the maritime navigation and ship registration sectors. It came after fulfilling all international specification requirements and ensuring that operational processes are conducted in accordance with the highest quality standards and internal policies of the Ministry. Obtaining this certification reflects the Ministry's ongoing commitment to developing human resources and raising their efficiency, as well as strengthening oversight of operational procedures, thereby ensuring the provision of fast and effective services and enhancing the confidence of beneficiaries and partners in the maritime sector. This international accreditation is a cornerstone in promoting quality and institutional excellence, and improves service levels and raises institutional work efficiency in the long term.
The McLaren team, owned by Mumtalakat Holding Company, won the 2025 Formula One Constructors Championship for the second consecutive year. Lando Norris secured third place in the Singapore Grand Prix at the Marina Bay Straight Circuit, while his Australian teammate Oscar Piastri finished fourth in a fiercely competitive race held under the lights of the Singapore circuit, known for being one of the most challenging tracks. This achievement highlights McLaren's status as one of Bahrain's premier sports investments event and reflects Mumtalakat's commitment to supporting global sports while bolstering Bahrain's presence on the international sporting stage. The Kingdom of Bahrain is a leading example of investment in sports not only by hosting major international championships but through strategic partnerships with leading brands in the sports industry, most notably the McLaren Formula One team. More in this report.
The Kingdom of Bahrain is a unique example of how sports can be used as an integrated investment sector as part of its ambitious economic vision to diversify sources of income and strengthen its position as a regional and global hub for sporting events and technological innovation. The Kingdom has gone beyond the traditional hosting of championships to adopt an integrated economic system based on sports investment through strategic partnerships with major global brands, foremost of which is the McLaren Formula One team, which reflects the convergence of Bahraini competence with global industrial and engineering excellence. Since the launch of the Bahrain Grand Prix, the Kingdom has demonstrated its organizational and logistical capabilities to host one of the world's most important sporting events, transforming itself into a global platform that combines sports economy and sustainable tourism, highlighting its advanced infrastructure and its position in the knowledge-based and innovation-driven economy. The Kingdom of Bahrain's investment in McLaren Group is not just a sporting partnership, but a strategic choice stemming from a long-term vision that sees sports as a catalyst for economic growth, a bridge for technology localization, and a means of building national capabilities in the fields of engineering and research development. The Kingdom has recognized that sport in its modern sense has become an economic and self-diplomatic tool that enhances cultural influence, expands international cooperation, and creates an attractive investment environment in line with sustainable development aspirations. McLaren today is not just a brand of the world of speed, but a symbol of an economic partnership based on innovation and aspiration, in which the Kingdom of Bahrain is a key partner linking the national vision for the future with global leadership in the sports industry and the modern economy.
Major landmarks and government and private buildings across Bahrain were illuminated in the McLaren team colour after winning the Formula One Constructors' Championship for the second year running after taking third and fourth places in the Singapore Grand Prix at Marina Bay. This celebration embodies Bahrain's pride and appreciation for an exceptional global achievement that reflects Bahrain's ambitious vision for investment in sports and confirms its pivotal role as a major supporter of Formula One on the international stage. The Director General of the Olympic Council of Asia, Hussein Limsallam, expressed confidence in Bahrain's ability to successfully host the 2025 Asian Youth Games. Limsallam added that the Asian Youth Games will generate increased enthusiasm across the Asian continent as it approaches its launch. He pointed out that it is not just a competition, but rather an opportunity for athletes to learn about different Asian cultures and gain valuable experiences. Limsallam emphasized that Bahrain's hosting of this global event for the first time confirms that it will leave an impact on the participants, as it is a legacy that encourages young people to pursue their dreams.